be denta Gambia lela wala na wo Gambia wala wartan tul peti
okay
wala tin na ning Gambia ku na to we have to be nationalist ku ma ta ba mpana be tentula be jaila pour kanyi miralo soto kanyi programme sifa soto ka politician ol commandi si la miralo lu fo la party ol la policies la party ol la hamen kolu o kuma tabake
very good baraka back another program auto nyameng kabiri ngana Gambia state taranya dire election yele mo damal bije quand même fo wala oppositional et quand même fo wala man nyamam fa president Adama Barrow la maralola and comme December 5th am molti mi yalon kay ba bondilal wala ba bondi la carte fa yolal ye mo ko tan sindije to mo melne ko banku dingol ya bula do ko men amoke e campagne o kayla 2026 2021 e campagne o kayla o sankile ngo nyum fana barbudu akamonta banku dingo dol bije ko ya bula do ko men amantara o keka ila fta pour ka bondi
ila nyinin karo kuma ta baki jam demokrasi mu miralo lati ite la miralo ko ila nyanto dante damendo do ta kuma sta wolati kanu miralo bete keno la kilindi komi ngamen fon na kumo la datidula ye kuma ta baki bari His Excellency President Adama Barrow Gambian kolle atombon 2016 kotumo Gambian kolbe sularing baka otumo molube de tokno bake sanji moni fula menke dañu banko kam molbe a lonne hadama de o ka filile ko be on ka fili nyame molume fan soto even media houses hani beñi menna janten kun wa man soto non katu wotumo o environment to minga man create wotumo plain field nyimbe rofrim bake molu buka hani ke famfo katu ko membe marlem bankola yaya jambe atemam believe democracy la principle la no barinka carte o faye ne pour asi democracy nati bare mo keno katum a balantale ayaje ko atebe kala karkam marlo atebe wole kala wala mu nyinti ko sembe marlo wala na wo Gambian ko le wala je ko alinga carte o faye president Adama Barrow pour si hakili marlo nati wala mu democracy ti wo democracy kabringa carte o faye 2016 follow nga assessment nanko institutional reforms wala mu mansakunda la bunda lo tamandre nyal ke falling na ta assassin fana nako pour asi banko la maral kaw 1997 constitution loi bu ko len Gambian ko le adeda referendum oto ko loi bu ko kono loi be je min ya lon ko wo loi lu e mampetea bar dol be je wol betea salen katu loi bu ka mol be febo banko kan wala ni ka there is no bad law. Any law that suits you is a good law.
Good law.
Any law that doesn't suit you is a bad law. So what a law jauti caring. Wale atinanko constitution kuto soto law bu kuto. Wala na 2020 na draft constitution o ayasamba deputy moto. Bara deputy man na songala. Deputy man song.
Ita famo bare ngame wako wala le ita na deputy bu moto ise. Yo tanni wo.
Nte draft mina wato men na automonte boto jele.
Boto jele okay. So dolbe je o hani wo draft famo la ko wala. Well iko deputy wal man song bar jama ka men fo wala president barona la NPP wala man song wo draft ni recent survey me yitande yenyen ko wal men konti reform mem mo falendiro ti banku dingo jama babi je iko falendiro man tra ke banko kan mem mo reform ti wala nan ko iko mol kam mem fo wala president baro iko do ko mi yalan ko wal ditala amantra ka tamade mol mo jamal bi je mal la wala kawe do ko ke kam banko kan
ni moli o fo I respect their opinion bari ndenga mere nyina tale kato ko niko reform mantra caring democracy form reform lati kato democracy mantra no Gambia banko fa sanyi mo ne fula ya jamana marlo form reform lati
okay
habari ka system wala tamandre nya wala system o nyinti yo bari fenko loi pour que loi nati president Adama Barrow ka loi de da loi député bon le ka loi de da ate ban taro député bon to
habara le executive la si loi isi loi de da no ade ya level ya kina député bon wala man na wa député le fante loi de da
habar ay okele wala mu hamen kaytoti yalo policy mekal le mu cabinet cabinet le ka policy de da policy mu hamen kaytolati wo hamen kayto cabinet la doko mo wolati ka samba député ñaati mo ni banko la maral kan jibe section 101 ay wala fo a motion or a bill may be introduced in the National Assembly by a member of cabinet or by a member of National Assembly, and National Assembly shall give consideration to the bill introduced. Ni section 101 juwe lo banko la maral kan constitution of jele ako cabinet minister asi hamen kayto nati député bonto député bo fanansi hamen kayto nati ka fole private member bill wala committee fanansi bill nati no so ñu bemu loi la de daña bari nin cabinet ye hamen kayto nati député ñati etelma sembo so pour ya ratify wo mo député la do ko walati wolu adama baro man taraje
bari ko commitment that matters, and all other people parties men be banko ka if fintitale kafo we endorse this 2020 draft and will laftale prake luwate banko except NPP and President Barrow amala blessing di kaitola ama yitandi ko well he is in for it ama wofo ando ngaje ko most of the people me yalanke balanta kaito nyina wol mo molti mi yalanko wol natalem o wato nyina
jara mbeñum fole ko draft constitution 2020 defon balanta la
mais fo mon sonal
ha
okay
because mi ya dan koy balanta la ye fennel ke loi bu ko kono folo jara ni hamen kayto deda ko anyanta ke loi leti inyama nyana safela je kafa ko moma nyana dula mala loi me yalon ko député le nyanta deda la ite ko député man nyana totlay man na femma la je nyata tambindi la le ay ta referendum direct o buka ke loi ne ba deda la député sembo sur le pour que loi deda wala ni ko loi deda la dia law makers it le ko loi deda
haba
so anu nyimbe je fanan ko draft nyin kono ko iko nimmo mi alon ko jojo le joji ale ke ala doko wato iba jo kan atata fa pension tay ko be continuer la pour han kabi ka jo men ala doko wato ibe continuer le kawale dial womo nete womo discrimination
bari nga jare yo people
what about doctoral for doctoral manke civil servant for police manke civil servant for soldier manke civil servant ye ni nga tra ko yo foko wala nyanta kala jojoliye hani atra pension de be kon ne la ke jo woto police du womo discrimination wolti anoni ta section 100 jubel loi bunda keme 1997 constitution foi ma lon ko 1997 constitution wala nyanta buku ko loi buku to de dala ni o man so loi menna ite nyanta de dala nyamen wala nyanta te guide la wala nyanta député bon guide la député bon kan do ko ke fem fulal la constitution and standing order so ni be loi buku kuto de dala nyin dolle ba nyin buku loi buku koto wala be loi buku kuto de dala wala nyanta wulula wo section 100 ako e manyana loi de dala membe discrimination o kala fatam fanso kala kadu bunda do fana be je wayitande ko te jara ibrahima jara ni tani moden da bakilim fakili na be sirin america banko le kan barka america kaytole babu e ko atekeno la ministati ate president ya nyini nola ate keno la National Assembly membati nyimbe be draft kono le 2020 draft nyimbe jele ni tata je just
currently
ngeri fa pour eta yeje
currently men fana be diaspora minimo banko de dual citizenship bebul be keno minister de Gambia
ha nga jele foete wobe 1997 constitutional kono ha aya fule ako ninga atara ko dual citizenship bebul wala banko dia fula e ko ite keno la pour kake ministati obi jele we 1997 constitution kono bar say man la fi wayta jay ko loi jawolem oto mo natte bakale 2020 kono gon draft le kutamale
so bar mo jamal bije ka même fo in fa nyo sabobe dame wolem president Barrow to mo men na kanada reform la sangitan iko bari anyanta ka dawolto ay ji ay modo fu ando nga mete ni mo ko de ngale campagne o kay wala pour tout temps manda fulay wo mara ay ji 2016 kara 2026 wala sangitanti jamal bije ika manyakalo tatam la hanen lesen sauver fonga ya yitande ko banko mo jamaa bije iko Barrow manyaka tatam la ben demokrasia ba wala lam fundika fe mamira nyanta ka jila waro sita pour ka yamarbe
yenyi mbunda men foje kuma ta bak balinte ngamira men kaf ko president Barrow manyan lola ika bes mo nekan kadi ma bes luwakan
ay campagne o menke ay ko mol men foje wala mu kade mu fan of democracy tatam le democracy la di tam second tout am maralo wala alata wala andu wanyama fanga ata babule la wasilo no
do we elect our president on the basis of the law or moral na manga president ko moral luwale la han so do nga president o tombo luwale la wala na banko la maral kaw ni tata jeju be aka for qualification and disqualification of candidate you understand it aka même fo je wala ni ko mun ka candidate to qualified indi mun ka tina buka qualified buka sapol timandi ñine be luwa mo buko nga president tombo luwale la nga député tombo luwale la nga councilor tombo luwale la nga mayor tombo luwale la nga chairman tombo luwale hal draft constitution luwale candidat banko buka tano luwa koma luwa marlo amanke koy ka banko samba mira lolla konte ngaji tenni hani banko buka tawon banko kinde dunya ko menga tamo banko buka tamo luwale la ni president luwa e sembo dia la prior law because term limit one traje jaram be nyim fole ko term limit do ka development determine ni wata china banko juma la develop the china bi dunya ko ni tata China ba jube la how China is moving
but we cannot claim
China la president member Syrie njem fay ma lon ko China la president member Syrie China ma lon 7 political party la bi party wala wala bi je ba CPC always to lead it party itata tundo ndeta jele na je visit le ndata dula jamal to funju provinces ndata je ndata Guyan city ndata Gulani island ñu dal bundal mi yanko party jamal le be je tundol kan but you
cannot claim to be a fan of democracy after you don't believe in that term. You don't believe in two-term rule. Because akamunde la commentary ya for left at kino la bar dura o malafi wala. Wala la fa dura wala bar ya ni nyemen tabi malafi wala.
Hani imang understand kamen.
But remember,
ni ko term limit. Term limit. Amanta combek term limit le opus ko wanya nakake nka me itandi la banko la
bar mol kam many baroke semboto wal kam men fo wala
don la constitution o me itandi wala ko term limit man tan na constitution ko na loi as of now
habari there's nothing wrong so when baro saying okay I have done enough 7 10 years
that is moral if you president to moral la ik president to luwale la
no but moral comes Gassama because for me you know nyadon ko mi yalon ko let's say me yalon ko amari ni ngam ko to bete ya wala fo and ala kenyal mam bete ya nobody will say that this is not point
because if I force kan kay ko tinyanta bolal are you going to overturn it
no
hay so don't so because même bi je wala ni ko loi ko loi sembo di tel pour ye carte au sol yeta ye carte au fay il fait même tombe ne ya tombe pour akanata ta tamla ite ta yedi amu moli ye convince ya fo ko kana carte au fay ni
ha bar na amari fo ko
bari ta fo no ko tel lola because ni ko tel lola akamunda ko nao ini luwale be keleka
ni ka lola
ha ni ka lola bi na be fo mlande ba tel lola ite si même fo no wolum nyinte ko ite la candidate o menti be wolo wafila ya sela
so but dolbe je ka même fo wala if baro na risk nyinda anata lo tatam la na boy ikabe kala e malolti mo fi ndujam andu wanyam han dunia fankono ala legacy nying aba batandil you think it was taking that risk
NPP de boy la
ni election
hani sobe fo yo itandi la de yalo sobe aka determine presidential election obe kala nyame 2021 sobe le ketano hani after that sobe do le ketano ngabe ko 31
yeah
it was used to be 31
yeah
if you could remember yeah 31% say ko jël 46 ala fatal ma fado ya ajital ala fatal so waya itandi ko abe ganyela
baro
ha abe ganyela
no bar sobe ku jama la yirani Gassama ala fanna do be je akoni president baro nani modo loda sama carte fo ke do modo le ba boyndi da o fana be je
juma la wote ali juma be lola
well it could be Ousainou Darboe it could be anybody within the opposition rank
be fenkili ne for the Gambian ko buka carte o fay ka ko ñine be keri ñine mu Gambian ko na nga fay Gambia la political system mo bi ñaawé silence majority len jamati you understand ñim politician wol men yalu ngay kata meeting dulan te rally atel la wolute wodo ka carte o fay symbole
wala ka fay because in Birikama
election wadi majority wala silence ti ma fa ñun dol be ka carte o fay atol mo foy bari même jamati wala silence will can determine at the pool
barita la tundo fonga Gassama if you look at al halul benyame katambi after the presidential election parliamentary election, local government election. The opposition are win can hands down. By Birikama West Coast Tundo Nyimfanka. So opposition they got the upper hand. If Barrow should take the risks, I thought look at the fall avoid Albo Saralaja.
And it a genial look. Ella factor libi the medical responsible election ila boyo and ila boy balia. Malfa understanding. Presidential election difference moment to 200,000 votes.
200.
Huge amount. What's here tabakele? What difference what tabakele? Woman came, you can't a marginal shit. If you are a good politician, one came marginal shit. You understand? Need any water election. Will be along with only cut or file. Will not participate local government election. You won't participate National Assembly election. Will can interest me sort of damage one presidential election. More
well, but the election was not even free and fair.
Presidential election, Nico Sumandro Kelala, ni deputy category mistake. Deputy Benyamin, deputy Nabel Lola, Hanala Bading, and Bading killing. Hanna be different political party. You can cut off fire. A sympathy vote because Munindi and no denta badi yal. Dolby a terror lewalty. Dolby will yala ala agenda menga bakala policy you will support. You cut off fire. Ya political kaji we take a suman broken yame. Your new presidential nata again with these same people will look at
so but Dolby ko President Barola popularity is down. In fact, more ikanyin recent separate survey ka wala use but a president who won by over 50% of the votes. Now survey Narana is putting you at 46. That means you're going down.
And he is not going down. The survey monkey call exactly can mean.
So when you celebrate it, 47%, 46% chance for him.
You understand? Yellow 50. The first survey make it 2021. Because they're 31.
No,
31. It was
there about
something like. But it was 31 or 4 will not reflect in the election, general election. Oma reflect. May reflect 53 or 52.
Yeah.
52.
So but
silence majority men be daring. It can form men na koi ma decide undesirable voters. So we'll let decide election.
So what makes you think of those people undesirable voters are going for?
They are going for vote. Yeah, they will vote for the incumbent because when I did a cut off file, I follow. I couldn't deal. Bangkok. Electricity access all over the country. BBB more than a community me along a Fenko dealer in the Kuramo dealer Bankol Minala ko Sate Minalo Gambia across the country. Almost about the 700 and something. North Bank region alone, 204 community. Banko Beka, Adamanke in North Bank Damat across the country. Nina the Siluri Juve, I don't go menke moli infrastructure.
But you understand? They argue the money is not coming from the president's pocket. So
but Sanitalu and full of Fobica Namojo. Again, I'm not Muna more development dealer. Muna Yaya Jame more development of bed dealer. Yaya Jama do coke de Nicoman do coke Yanaka. Hanet Jaro Karabu, I do coke. Nico Amate is Yanakarle. Sadaba Kerabajor from a do coke, Nikaman do Yanaka. But compared to President Barrow, is different.
Okay, Kexx. Barake nada program to nyame. Very good. Akamunta mabenta lambe memfoka wala mba tatam. You know, Gassama ako on moral issue. I think yanta lambe wala discuss. You want to come in? O karoji da. Dol bije ba foka President Bayo nyanta ka jile. Second term ni yo ka kanyantale because banko dingol ite fonga wala foy e ko ite man na maralo e kala fi wala ning furata nyin tunguro ji ya chance di modo la ta fane nana mo tombo la patio kono mo men diate ena yo maralo ke bar Gassama ko mo moral issue la to lal bije men be develop kan on that time doesn't in any way determine ila development wala whatsoever ya be den di men na dara wala akamondela commitment to national development.
Yeah, to ko ya fanya mere woni bo ko kachala wala ba jibe Fonsa jibe nan angul president onata nyame wo be important la ka establish president onata nyaade le pour que mansati baro ke ma c'est transitional president ngole kafu nyoma patiol yela hajol be bula je momo be ko si la police le manke kilomode la ideal manke kilomode la miral nyal fon ko banko manage nyame is not the same wo they all sacrifice that ko ko ngamo kilim tombo among ourselves ngal mari nan bayri nga gambelo men na tare ko men yantande na wala nyinte ko former president member jang menka monda ko Jawara weta sanje tan sabale si jang aman kate question na ma bonde jang fo coup d'état le abonde na ya Jammeh nata for 22 years kateke so ma bondinoje after many elections for kabin kafuta nyoma go to sign to make an end to self-perpetuating rule. Fonsi example was set. Mealonko will have a president. Mealonko he will go for a transitional period. Just alado moment to lay the foundations for a Gambia, a multi-party contest. Well, and the whole idea whereby there will be an institutional reform, there will be a constitutional reform, there will be a civil service reform. So Banko now would be a solid ground for everybody. Mealonko multi-party contest. Sikeno. So if you have that type of president, Mealonko at Sonta Santa and Nina manifesto by maintain that to the IEC, it is very clear that I am President Adam Barrow who is contesting under the coalition ticket, backed by 7 political parties to lead a transitional period for 3 years. What about the manifesto that is standard at the IEC? So no keda wodo our president another 3 years on other siya ko do kul siya batala te amira be nyame afanga kuma counter kabadunda kono ta ko they are totally different. Menje numbanda ako ngaso sanji lulo dia la continue tata wala anara ko kanota sanji lulo nga dia and within that frame agreement on ko nga nyina foko into self-perpetuating rule wala ni mansate sila all the time katraje but memenkela wala ni ko will reform the constitution whereby there will be a term limit by konita sila for sanje fulete be bola jere do na sajo ko at least multi-party contest ni sikeno oduma achieve no after 7 years no clause is not a clause me alon ko safo no ko entrench clause la because there are clauses in the constitution melanko they are entrenched it are falling no for nitara molia back to the people but in terms of the term limit is just melanko is not on entrenched clause. So if you have a president melanko you agree with your fellow colleagues I'll agree to all so pourquoi falling ni malafika ke self perpetuating rule if I menkele when you are coming into power, I think that they could have amended.
So how about those many along ko for the government after continuity la, after tentendi role la, President Barrow tala maralola, fe masabo coming Yuruwal to me along ko I will na fina banko kan isembo warta bakel and he is the only person me along ko as banko put no on track in terms of development going by nyabe menje kam banko nyinka praiji at this stage imfanga dol moy ka fo iko naka be jila fanga jarte ya samba kitwal because amanke banko la interest.
Yeah, Momo Yela, when it comes to the nation, we all have divergent views, and every view must be respected. Maybe based on what we agree on, to hold him accountable to that. But Dobala Patio, Domala Patio, believe with the development at the he believes that the president can go as much as Alaftala Nyamento because it will fair is providing the development that the country needs. That's their own opinion. Don't they debate Lanoka? We'll just respect it because you have a right, what we call to be voted and to be voted for, and those are constitutional rights. And you have a right to political association, and you have a right to support anybody. So it's a lot of what they call for, but the perspective of why we need that thing. So why we are looking at
going for a third term and you think the president deserves our votes?
Yeah, Nia Jibe from my angle, from the opposition angle, like what I have seen so far, that we didn't just change a government just to remove a head of a state and put another head of state here. But if you look at it, how do we manage the economic of the country, the living condition of the people? Yes, development, infrastructural development is good, but development must reflect on the life of an ordinary Gambian people. Kantandila Conte, at least my 3 basic meals will not be something I will struggle with it. But now, if you look at the survey that last time, how many people they are living in $1 a day, it's too much. So the development is not reflecting on an ordinary person. You look at the hospital when you go there now, how people do struggle. Most of the time, there are no medications. You either go to the pharmacy to buy. You look at the social service that is rendering to the that state is rendering. Passport of LSI, they have increased it to almost 5,000 plus. So that means that we are more reliant on a tax-based economy, whereby instead of tapping from the mineral resources that are happening in this country. So in terms of how do we manage the economic of our country, it is something is not good. You look at some of our private sectors, or what we can say, the public enterprises have been given away. They have been mortgaged. You look at even the Gamtel is just recently been privatized. You look at the Senegambia Bridge has been privatized. You look at so many sectors, they are the key drive of our economy, like the ports and the other things. All of them are managed by foreign when we cannot actually manage. So when you have a government that is telling you, I cannot manage my own resources, then for me, I will question that government is not fit to govern, because your own resources, if you cannot manage it, you say an outside. So these are some of this. For me, I will say that in terms of development, it's not reflecting on the economy. So there are minings there. But you go to the budget, nobody is telling you how much resources are we generating from Badokunkum, Masanya, all the sand mining that are taking place there. And the law is telling you any resources of the country must be reflected in the consolidated revenue of the state. So and it must come to the National Assembly. And if you have to remove that money from the consolidated, it must be approved by the National Assembly. But nobody is telling you where the money. So there are some things, they are happening to me. I believe that in terms of managing the economics of the country, and you could see the survey even shows that in terms of the economic management
60% are saying the economy is not managed properly.
So this is the issue.
But near what like in Nyamina, signed President Barongaja CRR, is it over 190 something communities, electricity, but wallet or Kurang Futata wallet. Model BJ, it would be very difficult for oppositions to campaign against Barrow in this coming election. Seeing what he has done for the people, like Dlalmi Yalongo Kurang and Amam Futaje, I Kurang Futandi will Dlalmi Yalongo Silo and Amam Futaje, I Silo Futandi wallet, and the Gambenola mindset, me Yalongo Wale people. It would be very difficult for opposition to campaign against the incumbent. Ni election or me Yalongo Walekana. So I'm just saying Yamina, but I'm go in there and you said Ibafola to campaign against the NPP. You think it's going to be an easy ride?
Yeah, when you said you bring electricity, like for example, my area from Choya going up to Dankongo, these people have been crying for that road because that link Nyamina with Kauru. Wato until Nadindi Yatam Kauru, you just go to Kulenyan, just cross, you go to Kauru. But science and then people have to go all the way to Jaren just to cross because of Osilo Nyambetinyari Nyam. And all our MPs have been campaigning for that, and for the history that NPP didn't follow about the Nyamina West, that's Biram so I think that any development Bekela, maybe it has to start so that I didn't follow Dina as an MP, and I will show you the development that I will bring. But Nina Nyamina West, I don't know the other part, but Nyamina West we are still struggling. Yes, electricity polo local sign, metal D. But you look at somebody cannot even afford to buy a cash power because he's thinking of what to put in this. So electricity deal, you are putting more burden on the person because Amari Bajala so you compel the person to do that. So you just provide him the light just to put on the bulbs. But apart from that, what can he do? Where is the sustainability? Where is the business? So these are the issues we are confronting. At this material time, yes, electricity is a necessity. But whether is that what Nyamina need right now? Because if you look at Nyamina, it's the only constituency that doesn't have a...
In fact, I'm a Nyamina, covering NPP, the deputy the number of promises Italian mentor at the time, it could be Nyamina. And what happened in the latter part is completely different.
Absolutely. So that's the issue. If you look at Nyamina, by then you look at Samba. Samba was a fishing center. So you look at those other things, they were helping the local farmers to people were complaining last year. I don't know this year season whether they will be able to address those. So these are the basic. You go to Nyamina. Nyamina is the in terms of cattle. But what is the government Ministry of Agriculture doing that so that that one them able it can be a research tool to them because niso fenja marka boy it can nisi tulo solo jele ka keke solo jele all this yogurt solo milk and mini market all they are all made out of this thing. But what is the Ministry of Agriculture's plan in terms of that kandandila ko nisi keme be mo membulu wala nisi talul be membulu that person is not a poor person, but if you go today is the poorest person in Nyamina because of ala niso nyina resource so abuka management, and that's the role of a government
in a community that way along literally niso be more people. It will be difficult for you like so it's either you just eat it then
you suggested those things why not we, because by then we have what we call NTC here. By then they take these milks to the mini market or free process and they take it to the mini market. So New York it's made of keke mungo wala keke kabonanja, but you have Nyamina even is women is more than 10,000 or 10,000.
So you must agree that Barrow is not impacting on your life because one of the journalists I think to him, Silo is the easiest work a president can do. There is no magic about it. Because Silo do work we have enough resources in the country, but Mantreka utilize. And the bank will because you call a balloon.
No, I totally disagree. Can you remember that?
Oh, you disagree.
Silo Sonia. Silo la de dama Sonia. Silo name engineer. Money along ko Silo do go in farm back. Silo la 1 kilometer. 1 kilometer. Ala min doyata. Almost about $24 million cost now. Silo me along come standard fund. Malafa understand. Momo yo fabe ni. Dunia kono bankol mini along ko tata nyato. Silo infrastructure equal follow China within 20 years you'll have develop. Go to Turkey you'll Silo ni jube ita Europe lañ part do yejube silo is very very important because atemu e ka famenda ko people to people connectivity atela ko more connect silo kuma ni momo ko silo man kuma be ne
no man ranga fa man kuma but if you look at this perspective
e ka development men for yirwa bukatano access to electricity o kuma ta ba akany men for the yirwa pour moya fanje electricity ka mo balwol fali hani kan you invest all many allocation na banko kande the electricity there for binala
so but you think but the point Kexx merit you think that's a good point mo me yalonko e ma ila baluwo ila household e ma maintain no you think that person yen meter di wala ka ila bungo where
that's not common in the world me yalonka come domoro provide mulla bungo ko nakata
no but you can provide social protection for people
I don't know wrong mon la moy don ka damende foy man sakunda te dunia ko men ko operate wonyawa man sakunda si men keno wala mo ye silo de ye courant natiye ye karambul natiye ye lopitano natiye itela balu nya way be fanjelo kono le ni dana lopitano to ye fen ko soto healthcare soto je ime fanje development ko ni silo tay borta ko ni mina wato na tariya nya be tariya la silo je ni silo je kunu ndabe na je trafic ba block le mbarni o me yalla ko size afrika nabe bona jana ni siloti je at terel ndo ma ko abe nu janale traffic imagine one time after the within 10
but chamo I go
na
if it's about silo I mean the problem is my uncle failed to understand one thing no but Kexx is telling you one thing
economy I come for economic hardship is global issue le what Turkey mbafule Turkey 1 kilo for meat akasang 800 tele ya fali Gambia ko $1,500 one kilo ask anybody there momo bije fabi Istanbul lebo fabi Izmir lebo fabi Antalya lebo fabi Konya lebo fabi Ankara lebo ask anybody there they are going to tell you that so it's not easy if the Gambian people are crying, they can't go half and go global isolation.
No, but it's the responsibility of the Gambian government to make sure that
they are doing their best. Honey, you will found you be honey coming for
but Gassama, in the light of like Baroe campaign cool men like how Jame he said la baluwe kolere nyame under Yaya Jame ay campaign ke kumol men if not nungo under atla leadership baluwe kolere ka tambi Yaya Jame then we will assume that he is not doing much
honey but this is not about Baroe this is about the
no he is the head of the government
this is about dunia cool mon ko fo tek amake Gambia ko yalla be Gambia janne but honey, even yet tambi jang for yeta Guinea Bissau. I was in Bissau. Bissau auto money boto kat sam men naje. Inte be ñew time moment. 27,000 CFA. Ni afali Gambia ko $2,700. Ni American rice. Intel kamalo sanjane nga tulo sanjane ka fen ko jabol sanjane ngi transport ke sambaji. Nigerian embassy ko je. Ghanaian embassy. Oh. Kana san Gambia jane night. So Gambia is the keepers. If you go to even Gassama, the same thing.
But the opposition are saying opposition will back vocal give me chance nyale chance dinna nin data get president of Bangkok we going to even make it look better
no e man nakom opposition on membe jan Bangkok you understand opposition ya ko defo mo opposition
but ya me say version nakamuro opposition ya
ani tetekela opposition ya dal lolo opposition ya mo ne bije saintol ni system woni mol men dunda ko wole opposition ya fa ke nyame yo sal ya ka men de wala mun diko ni be opposition ya la don ete nyata ko mo fo men di ati to gaf no ndena man ya dem a lej kula be man ke tolati wallahi personal nti ngam fan don ndela principle men di wo mbagal fa ko mo fo men
no but there is no new face ni aji be mol men be baro chele tam baga the lack of Usenu Dabo
opposition men di wo you hold government
but they're doing that
wherever they go wrong you have the right to criticize but yen yanti kilo men so pour que criticize yo yanti kilo so ni achievement ke trop il faut dire tentu ke check wala opposition ya isa men ke la moy wol fana cité la moy non
so by now ka wonda yemane expect opposition ganda ka president ko di ko
ni opposition on lota ni president be men ke la achievement ke sama atul mon fa be di ba ni nga ko indi ali bladia ko font la je isa je be fudde ni manya da ke ni da ke de nyada hani you don't do that ya mo men kal la moy fana kal di ko ak biñu nakar kan ite kate suna bolu wala yaje ko ni son tanina to abo government you can never have an impact on society if you have not changing yourself. And one of the most important weapons in changing yourself is to recognize and appreciate people. What appreciate? Ni mo enya to say appreciate. You understand? You appreciate. What for me is good for you because I can make it ko kan ka je ko ni son ta tonya la le. But ni mo ko amambete wata amambete hani it atu ka to be there abali. So I keep no be the first time person go menke kan am
so essentially electricity action. So would you want to
yes, in comparison like when I said that code the development of the country must reflect on the people of Gambia. You look at even the salary scales. You compare to the Turkey and the other people. How much is their basic salary in terms of a civil servant? So if you are giving me $3,500 as my basic salary, and you expect that 7 people at my home will they are struggling. Just go to the provinces. I can example electricity sambadam. Go to Nyamina Science and Nita Jeka cable the maletram bedo konan didn't because development doesn't reach there in terms of employment. So everybody comes to the combos here for greener pasture. So and it has to be decentralized. It's like you maintain those people at the provinces. But Nina Rananjam, how much is the government consuming in terms of employment, the employments in the civil service? You compare to the agricultural service sector, Melanco can employ up to 75% of the population. But what is government investing? And we said that we must have a food sufficient in terms of how much do we import in terms of importation of rice to this country, even though Akavoko is cheap. But how much is government pumping into that to import the rice? The last time one I checked is almost $30 billion. They do it to make sure that they import the rice to this country. But why can't we cultivate that rice? If Mohamed Jah can do it as an individual right now, you go to his farm, he's doing it as an individual. What about a government? If an individual can do it. So these are the issues.
That's a business.
Huh? No, I'm not.
The idea is government cannot do.
No, I'm telling you. Look, let me tell you something. The government listen to me. No. When you were talking as Nelamuel, just allow me. If you go to Gambia Post Authority, you understand? I don't know doing business. Gmaltam Post Authority is the government of the country. No, just give me time. Let's go to Gamcel, Gamtel.
One more state.
It's a
it's a business. Business. They are not. No, listen. Just allow me. They are not owned by any individual. They are owned by the government. So what governments do? What I mean to go, you create. Enterprises. You understand? For the citizens. Let's say, for example, government. I feel like rice importation or the amount of money we put on rice importation. So what they will do is they will create a department in the Ministry of Agriculture or Department on Food and Fonko, whatever. So those food and process. Let's say, for example, GPMP. I don't know doing business. They're doing business. The rice coming from Japan. But those parastates are owned by the government. They are owned by the government. I want you to understand. Forget about the subvention. The money goes to who? And it doesn't come to me.
Allow him.
I'm not the one who owns it. Uncle, let me tell you something. I want us to be very realistic here. He's my uncle, my biological uncle, for that matter. But political.
You are just talking to your uncle like that.
But in politics we have to say it is uncle. I'm sorry, but this is politics, and we have to inform our people. I'm a Muslim. So what I need to go. I mean, government. Niame government. You understand?
Yes.
Willing ko mobile election. Mobile masakunda.
Okay.
But when masakunda nyamfana, there is no limitation for government to create departments. There is no limitation for government to create enterprises. You understand? So as far as government can create some of these enterprises, it government is not into business. Why? Let's say, for example, all these state, all enterprises make care for them. At the end of it, the profits they make, they don't give it to them. They give it back to the government. You understand? So, can have government business. And then let's move. You were trying to compare economy of other countries and our economy. Yes. But I just want to help you here. For example, you understand about economic. You understand? This is something left. You see, what governments do, wala ñinte ko for example ni ye courant di molla you understand ye courant da ke fendi me ya lon ko anila lahe bitanya wala anila balunya ila soto bulo latina affordability ila soto bulo nyi for ya compare with that wala qu'est-ce qu'a for ko you understand let's compare the salary scales of Bissau, Senegal and other and Turkey me Foday. Let's compare the salary scales. If you compare the salary scales iba understand lako anin to le jam amankele. Let's take an example. For example, be a man bodon kafalo ko $3,000 or maybe 2,500.
American rice 1,700.
Let's say 1,700. Yes. Let's even say 1,500.
It was used to
no. Don't worry. Let's say 1,500 for example. No problem. 1,500 man boro moldi jam. E kante jo dasu wulu lulela na do ko black side. 1,500 side. Nta ka wasam manul already obelari. Let's say lulu at least not the panso for the 30 days. Lulu ka $100 le poni da panso. Me alon ko bija mo so man dia. So that is going to be 3,000. 3,000 plus 1,500. That's 4,500. Na paso tanin na. You understand? Nko bondo maybe na paso door nyawa nyama do black. Yes, I might just when I'm drunk prior understand Kexx that I'm on the fire. Mo la balo. No, ila mo do ongul ne la mo ile dia. So ena ya jibe 4,500. Ila paso door nyawa nyama 800 maybe you might use for paso jani babla sound. Now already ila salary yo kuno. Salary fela banda sai. Ila bungo me ila sabatina kono. Wala luwaso man na follow. Ila kaspa me nyata ka dun. Ujo man na follow. So these are some of the things go. We need to have a government. Me masakunda nyande ka masakunda la soto. Masakunda me alonko ubalu nyanyi asaso nende nyonje. Let this not just be like yedula nyanyandi at the end of indembe sabatirinje konko be mfala. That's what we are telling.
Gassama is also advocating you and your party. You probably are Findi. You're doing well.
Let me tell you something. My party and myself, the party and myself, I always say this. One thing is very important. Mota follow President Barola Masakunda among development. But development may back it is benefiting few people in one way or the other. And I want you to allow me to explain this. Okay, you have said it here. Eco Silo is almost about 24 to 25 millions
for 1 kilometer.
And I want us to make a very left or wrong, a very honest kata jam. Okay, Burfut Silo, Kabo Burfut Gamtel. Katafo Burful Marcel. Let's say it's 1 kilometer. Yes, it costs us 24 million. But this 24 million, Burful Silo in drainage over here. Drainage system over here.
Yeah.
Solar light beji, fire anakita.
Yeah.
Concrete beji. Yes, and all these things, pavements beji. Burful Silo is 24 million. Okay. Nanjawara, Nabadi, Kabokerwa, Karabadi, Karanjawara. Yala Silo, for example, you do. Yellow silo ni Burful silo ila difference. There is no difference there. And again, I want you to tell me one thing. Kerawan, ndola bari. Ko silo do ku for ebero men kelaje. Bero is just at the cornerstone. Kubero kodi. Okay, yellow silo do ku beta waka ka beta ko bo Senegal. The cement do ka bo fara Senegal. Whatever. Yo do ku. There is no solar street light. There is no drainage system. You are still telling me that work also costs 24 million. So you understand ko President Barola Masakunda ibe meaning kan silola nyame amanki comme banko dingola na party. But ibe meaning kan silola meaning kama ke fon kulu balundi. They are the one who are coming richer, and when the poor are coming poor. And when I say the poor is coming poor, I want you to understand one thing. When President Barola was coming to the government, kabaka na Masakunda kono, let's ask ourselves na fon nyanka na julobe jelle. Na julobe jelle, for example, na fon nyanka wala. And don't tell me go julobe wadamu ya jama mando ko kede. My uncle ya jambe ndola bari bushilo kabo bara foka naki kerawan kabo kerawan foka naki lemon kodo kasta foka ta aleo silo mi alon kalkal fangul le kato le adada ya jibela bi kumas but comme kabo lemon kodo kata samas ya jibela bi kumas but that does not bring us to this level of having a loan of more than what Jambe and Jawra have. Jambe level 46. So let me tell you economy la. Economy is not about the politician will see but the thing is let me just comment. The thing is let me just give me 1 minute. More living condition pour que faille développement au niveau.
yala ya fojande ako molla balunya yam sa yala be wala foka bar man sa ko day kata ko ke jele ni ajube balunya to follow molla salary fama daf la man salary increase 100 what sa for 110% momorni civil servant for manke achievement.
But have you seen that the impact of that?
No, you cannot say that for impact. It is the people who are going to say that.
No, I'm with you. That's also have you seen the impact? Have you seen the impact?
Yes, impact be jele because men can receive. Let
me tell you.
And you say can
salary increment. How much are you receiving? Salary increment. The more your salary.
I can remember for coming like silo la ko. Ika men fo ibe korondo kanne men keda burfut man sa kuna la police le yake police le ye silo silo de da ni ngatra ko feeder road lam nyilla la do ko ngoti rekanso ade dimde imanta si feeder road de
I will come to that. If you look at the salary
dunia ko municipality wala ka silo do
but Gassama man sa salary so let me just put this one salary
let me just tell you about municipality what your government said to us
salary increment there is a
I just want you to be very careful. So after we will come to
Gasilo de Daniel of the Navlo,
the issue of salary increment. Salary increment.
But I'm just asking, salary increment. Allow me. Silome ya lonko, ya doku, doing system mobile. So the street light mobile. Pet menu begin. And this no
is it not a great affirmation?
I'm just no drunk.
But for you, yet to KJ. You have a Brufusilo better.
Come on, Uncle. I said to you, I will not.
Did you know that?
Okay. No, I did that. I did that knocking Ken and
So if you look at the issue of government having impact on the masses, like coming out of salary increment, yes. So salary increment, the more is announced. Expectation in the supply side. I mean, more budget me yalong ko wala ka fengol na fina.
Yes.
So near fengol expectation is okay. Kexx will have more money now. So the more you have more money, you opt to spend more.
Absolutely.
So ela budget nyimbe increase la. So many yalong ko wala ka service offer. Wal fanan kila service wala fa.
Absolutely.
So the wala fa. Then the impact nying amu fended me. Wala na jamal budget la kamenda even if at the pit of inflation, e ka fa ko salary increment is not the solution because if you do
inflation man gambe da man. Umar nga foy. In Turkey, in Turkey, in old currency, against hard currency like a euro, is 6,000. It was used to be 2,500 2024, but now it's 6,000 against euro. Ask anybody there, and the dollar for increase. Inflation, let's forget about that. Well, it's global issue. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's global.
So,
yes,
despite that situation, the government. Despite the war is going. Despite what they still feel the government need to do more, and probably they're not giving us the kind of solution that we want. We want beyond Kafako, Dunia will better. We elect a government that is after men are willing to serve the people. Now, more Jamal be coming for but if the opposition,
So I come for like even you look at the salary scales, and I tell people the salary scale is even more helping the people on the top. Will let have earn more because salary now be increase, like increase based on what you earn. So when they got 3,000, so they can take 100% increasement across the board. They got 3,000. What is the 3,000 100%? Having $5,000 and then can say take over. You know, tax will kundu and the other things will maybe he left with $4,500. So that's the issue. When we are talking about increasement, Minister Sol, you have this permanent secretary Benny Fanso. Why now, if you are to increase to close the gap between the poor and the rich, is to make sure that those are the low grades, you will salary mutaya increase.
How about last time?
No.
The last phone call.
Yeah, can across the board.
No. Last time I started with grade 7 down.
But after that, we'll find another
8 months involved.
But say, Kabi what
10 up to 12.
So say, Kabi what did they do again? The manager judiciary numeration. They came to National Assembly. National Assembly.
So Gassama.
No.
How many?
No, that's when
no increment.
So for me,
kabiri nara birikama yamune tare mindo birikama kabiri yamune
birikama sadoko ndema fenjoro
really no because Facebook use sifo na la mol be mem foka ko be do ko men
no ten se menje no na do ko menje wala mo mbar ci lol ñim fam fo no ni fidaro secondary like ni bota birikama box ba you understand ika fo no men da bendula night club na men
okay
silo men dula do marché ko o be concrete number kata sifo lo time I can remember another four loptan no black ma ko you understand silo men ko bota jana bendula night club da men fo ma jelo
Bendula.
FMB ma fa silo men jitana fida road men dula atele je concrete atele je da so wo silo ni même dunta ko renke kata dem bo karanyi mala ko ma afunde gujur silo
pare man ji dara sen yare fay ma
jebu la ma sen ko la bebe no hani marso ko ko si mo fa ata fa aka ngam ndemo tan je dunno am sol ko man ngoy ko bari jam fa atuli al fa voluntary fen ko service fen ko ko voluntary fen ko kata ka
fo yam recordé ke ko la
it's their responsibility pour ya municipality la dogola do ako ke mo keme ta woro la ni ta murlo mo namo ari dunda ita mo ke wala nan ko yango alla yango ni yango ko diamo la advice ala fa ko diamo bula yalo candidate no ni sindi ila si folo ha il faut que mo le ke sindi bar si fulanya fon ke fa
bari dal ko be do ko bal la ko
ina mo ndo den dama jide ndi tat la nga ngam fan so nga inspection o kele kata dula to ki jidi
marfew
ha la jibe je man trasener de even grâce au kono fan grâce au kono je man trasener de silo kan hani ni silo imani ni bangol mboy ni tata hani Guinée Bissau et la capitale ko silo kan ni fembo ila municipality senior suto you understand yo banko jaka silo tinyare nata na fakira je porthole wole creed mal fa understand ko jiole kaloje ni jolo to jaka silo tinyare hani OIC road ajube Sanneh fa ngaje ko dol traje be dulal fitala rek it is the responsibility of the municipality
but municipality fananko it make expect from
but they are not doing that
government mantraki solvent and why are we limited resources wala people they managing themselves within that and that's not very bari kaman ñu fa la kaman lo la fama fo ko ne parti leader ni carte of abe momo 1 million dina ko do be bulo ni ifama pledge ni kele
akile ko akabe 1 million dila
no revenue will increase.
Wono ko be bulo
Then you the government.
When he's talking, I am fine. But because I just want Nadia Mda. Nadia
want ko do abe ko dila ni kate fight so yalo bribe so bari ila mentole mo wala nyantole mo prite o murundi kam because do ako kemo keme sidla
bari gaza
ina da wala bulle 6%
so mbena
so they go back to the people
are you suggest can go council nyimbe feel kind their private because ngamre ta la fon sine because primary responsibility
it is their primary responsibility hani ngolo for the talking from the municipality ikafo je yudula create je kafo ko side management wudula municipality tel kam ngi ka land claim you understand mo la ka do ko no ba
ibuka land
because not na mbardi ubida dal capture
so bari salbu
ga wala sen no do e kan do bitano do ko ka kala
so Gassama sa ala sa
la claim le extate to law o extate to ka income le generate you understand
Gassama ala say so ya moy la so you go ahead
so you see like la uncle la moye na la moye very calmly because malafle so basically aka même fo momo be Gambia kono jam momo be West Coast and you just want to be very honest to yourself if I understand la ko be camera kan be camera so kaso kun fatam fansi bale fo right so ata kanyim même fo ka fo ko marché ko no buka fita garage ko no buka fita ten. Look, all those things are words million just like a cafe, a council number. But let me tell you, no, but ila council nondi. Everybody know ko become a council cabin to Kanaje. That was not true because we Silvolo Gelegele. Not for Gelegele killing full of That was no because mantra we have to rent cars. Motor rent for us to do this study.
Food.
So the phone for B become a council B as we are speaking. Motobal Lulu. Compacto truck Lulu under our leadership Naola. Open truck for illegal dump sites. Open truck full of Naola. Gisabaron. All these states, government of Gulatialo B, Ninkamu Faraji, become a council goes like Gassama for free without no payment. Covering army camp Lembang, police Lembang, anywhere government institution Lembang, police station Lembang, paramilitary camp Lembang, within West Coast region B, Nila Kamul Faradon, we take the charge.
So, but about Sonko West Coast is very dirty. You don't deny that.
Yes, listen. I mean, West Coast is dirty. You understand? They can all say it, view, but the people in West Coast knows the truth. West Coast go to London.
But Gassama
no, but you want to become important to kill another. You went to we are coming to the council. This uncle was in Bissau. From Bissau now, so uncle actually does not know nothing about Bissau. And again, let me tell you something. Uncle Ko Akufila roads. I want to tell him because I mean Mola Marme Along is working with the government. So left a man all need to go. I have NRA. I have NRA could become a council call. Alia Marco permission to the silo do because Ntolu as a council we went to them because Ntolu Malak in Yosamakura. Before we did a silo now budget long combat. We went to NRA. For NRA permission of dinner, Purgasilo in Doku, NRA, what they told us when you could know, government your Kodo settle, government your Kodo settle, can you feel that? So you see what is happening here, instead of government, councils responsibility delay, government councils duty, they are denying councils. I can remember it's in Turkey. I have been to Asia, and I know Asia, municipalities can operate, and I want Uncle to be very honest. Government and municipality working relationship with in those places. Either they are ruled by oppositions or they are ruled by whatever. When the council stop, government give them everything. In fact, councils are more powerful than even some of the ministries. If you go, for example, I went to Korea. The municipality of Seoul. Wallahi, that place is more beautiful, more technical than even State House of the Gambia. Ila sata wala everything, street light, everything. When we came to the council,
specific here. Council, are you failing in your responsibility?
I am just telling you the job we are doing. Until when men K can be, there's no things me uncle. I was so how can let's say for example, it is a Marsodo, Kuraro, Murjida Marsodo. For example, Janim Fitar Lalmina, a Marsotra no Marsodo. For Fondo, did we have but all of those people councils have to be just stationed in the market. Immediately, we don't have that capacity, we don't have that money. Go, Uncle. Please try and make research about your government. Silo is Airport Johnson. Is under NRA. And cleaning and everything is under the guarantee of NRA. But notwithstanding, become an area council, they might not have the entire capacity to do the job. So what do we do with them? Because already government they joke and they pay RSK and NRA to do that job. But we provide Aliala Nyoka, Motoba Mina ka pick, Katakasama ka dump as our duty, as a responsibility. So near Lowering after Adamaroya, Eta NRA, Eta Minister, Afayako, unless you may allow Yal Joka Doku Abenorin, Yafu, Yansan. So this is what you felt on us. Make research about us. Karin told not have become a consul, Nakunun town leke. You've seen the scholarship. You've seen the 1 million. No, listen. Look, just allow me. You've seen the 1 million. We give it to every ward, and each of those wards, the development will make it because we feel like we have to give chance to people to do local. And since we came to the government, Uncle, as per the law of this land, I remember following Yunduko, I got 25% of the development budget of every council subvention need to come to the council. I want to ask you, if you are asking me, I'm not delivering, I'm not doing my job, do you, the government who is heading everyone, are you doing your responsibility to make sure councils operate and you are not doing
subvention of it
and you are asking No, we it's part of our budget. We request. It's no councilman that will approve. Go to the minister. There is no council. No. So responsibility. Forget about Fitaro. Council the mail responsibility. No. I understand. You fail to understand that. I have just asked you to run
contract agreement.
Contract agreement.
Listen about contract agreement. Left the firm kill for the ship for a job. I told me for can they take for the day. I told you far too late things that come more and light.
About what?
About it reading me for
honeymoon malo. No. More Gassama. The good name of West Coast always
despite Ilanium concern be you want Birikama model budget the Bolif Yankuba is more popular than your president in West Coast. Who says that? Molaka for it. And you want to go for that's what West Coast no West Coast that's what you think. That's what they say. Honey. You don't believe it? Well, why you president Bayo Gambia Billy? Why it about for NRA council Mantraldo? Don't follow in West Coast. President Barrow doesn't have much to show, especially in Birikama. But
the science he doesn't have local government election West Coast. You are talking about popularity. By election of future election. Do you know that?
Okay.
If you are not a good politician, it or not.
Okay.
Example was it 2006? Not. Kabrin tata nad data being out not tang and not form be registered maybe chemistry you can attest to that Kabrin tata and being a family basically trick a party you understand they should not belong to two political parties at the same time Lua in a ceremony declare vega Tata by election on the same election year we lose 2 seats against APRC APRC following do not kill follow the but bring to the presidential election, the future election, we lose the election. I can't tell you. If anybody who says that, I've got to tell you. So I'm going to ask you same scenario.
You can go by election, future election determined. But let me uncle. Now, be opposition. Be man opposition. Left ni alatiema. We are sitting here. Ya jembele election. Election the presidential election ya election. Are they fair or they were not fair? Free and fair.
Ya jembele election tena na dispute so election. Nka balam damento no registration. Kadu nana mo fon tale nga file ka samba court. Pour la nationalité ni challenge. Okay, I did that. I'm just election or jama niaje kafo election or
before the
registration process. But what fanan it government blame no because there are laws min kaitande ko IEC after the conclusion of the general registration. It can make revising code. It go open. You have the right, you moment object, you go to court. Niman that court You cannot blame the IEC. So but you can someone ning cartel for fight and boyta. You cannot blame anybody because in total aggregation code you challenge.
So you are saying here.
So Yaya Jammeh 22 years after come boy the election was
free and fair.
It was free and fair.
But you're telling me you doubt the registration process, and you're telling me registration is part of the election. You know that.
But Niman that registration.
Let us be fair. And
counting on the spot. Yalla 2016.
I'm sorry.
You counting on the spot. Yalla niaje moli a request no. You counting on the spot. What we electoral reform. The idea came from Fenko concerned Gambia. Kafo nyantaje ko in electoral Fenko nga reform the electoral system nga reform because people be talking nyame man happy. So but even the chairman at then the chairman am carry all was there. You understand? Natafo ko minina Fenko ni bantala la tamning. So I need to step down. You understand? It was one of our conditions. Okay, nata ko ngen go kasi fao kas fay nyame the system. Even that system will form a reform rally. The idea of this counting on the spot and that. Yaro test by election at Kiang and Central Bayo. I was there as a polling agent. Temporary agent. We get a counting agent in that election. You understand? What more carry on the and doesn't cost from Kijile Kite and Quajanta Kelanyari. No. Purka experience of the general system on you understand? You barbary on Atado, counting on the spot, you test everybody will be convinced that the system of the Yanko will be recognized. You understand? So, but remember, and what I'm quite call cartel make a fight case or Sunya. So you oppositional, you think oppositional they are capable of unseating the president in this election? They cannot. It's not possible. Oppositional found. Honey comment. No, honey at the comment. Don't go and come for coalition. Coalition or coalition partnership. Alliance partnership. Five coalition or coalition against coalition. You are telling me that Baron ko Baro fond ba fansindi la president Baro fond ba fansindi la based on al development I mean ke banko kat afon ba fansindi la so Kexx mo ma fo ko Yaya Jammeh nana ma wo fondala ko Yaya Jammeh nana ma fo ko
kama don na do asma ku take na ma Yaya Jammeh projet
Yaya Jammeh projet so OIC Yaya Jammeh hadida
sorry Kexx
sorry wari bari fona kana ko
oppositional pour ye kafu
wala ka fal kan findal kan ten kan jay
sorry ga oppositional pour ye kafu nyoba ya ngajele ye post on Facebook about payroll to pour bi yalon ko wala be den coalition wala karol dol pije mi yalon ko eketel mu parti balde andum kamonde be dol commande kan ko yalna ale lanka na coalition I think ngami right you are against that idea what.
Yeah, actually, man balang pulunga kafu nyoma because ngajele ko be banko men kono science and then the fonga kafu nyoma ni lafaka incumbent bondija and wo kafu nyoma to kela no fonga nyobunya because ni nada jibe niko coalition ferola because ni parti be konga fo be la mira lal manke kilimodi par yajele ko banko be tembe dala to me alon ko fonsi kafu nyoma ngani na fansum ferol ni na fansum kuola ngana police manke kilindi because ni do jibe nyim ya parti dol fana jibe maybe la ideology found they are not the same but bini aje also nda pour nga sibina kilin ko nga do ko la faka ferol ke pour ka fem bondiji isa yo kon sina ko man sa kunda so me alon ko abe multi party contest nyul na da institutional reform so nga mel be fo baje den abe avenue yella mol baje ko parti be kele fandi kany ko men fo den ka fo registration ni isu so nga mel be abete ke fem be kala bitane lu wala silol for example men ka ID card me alon ko isuta outside the country here you know in a democratic point because the law is very clear who should attest but Nitara Morocco idea who is the alcalo because the law is saying that is alcalo there's no alcalo in that place no amafo you have to substitute it to an ambassador what act kono so unless small be so be mu isule so ko alna kafunyum so no kafunyo diamo be keka at this material time you know this issue of kafumbe no biletu la umanya nakata at the table at this material time alna nga kafunyoma because we have a common interest and that common interest is to make sure that ko ngabaro bonding indula at this material time because we believe that he is the factor me alanka biji so no make go to the table and let's see and you put your strategies in but this start like a party no muteke demean can't you don't expect people to come don't call and
so but ila reaction on at the time or on Facebook where you actually reacting to what Dabo said or what Yankuba Dabo meant for? Wait, what were you exactly reacting to?
No, it was
you were indirectly talking to the UDP members to low down there to tone down in essence that probably Kafuno Nyoma, or you just want to make sure the record is clear?
No, it came after Yankubala comment that he made. So I was like responding. At this material time, we should not look at who is a bigger party at the end of the. Because Akamunda ko yiri kuntu belari na kota abunda da ron del bela fakatami. Nga kada nya nda jira na moto kono la fakadunna suwo kono mandunno je nga kada nya mazi ko moto dol be farin koma. Ol fa la fakatambe bari man tambino. Bena da jinga mbuloka fu yiri kumbara nga finde. Odo bela la sembo yo nanna. So you don't belittle parties ka fa ko mu party ndingo le nimme minana by force et mina. So already al negotiation of on start. You have made a position. So I have a position because I believe in something. Your party didn't believe in that. So then that means there will be no agreement. So where is the common interest? Fight can. So that was my argument.
So do you believe in party-led alliance or even left-wing coalition or like Menketa 2016 Barota Siba?
Yeah, for me, whatever parties are, but let's go to the negotiation table and have an agreement, not a side talks. Me alongo, Almandia must start for a bit more biker because nobody want to be seen as belittled. The person is contributing something, whether it's a human resources, but whether it is in terms of mobilization, whether it is terms of resources, to come together, permanent coalition of bill. So general negotiation will start this. Gambel nanga kafunyoma. You understand? Now that negotiation, you all put your offers on the table. Because we went to coalition 2016, and history tells us that it was successful. Not coalition was successful. Not went to buy election here. Yeah, coming for Kemesan Jamil Bela seat retained. In Jara, they went United Front went here. So there are coalitions Melanco built, and based on our modality, it has never happened in the world, but it happens in the Gambia here, where we go in for election whereby we are all represented equally. So
how about those that are saying UDP is not treated fairly and in other coalition? They in the opposite, going by separate line recent survey, if I in oppositional Carola, they taking the lead against other parties. So you go, Patiomi Yalonko, Wale Wata, Wale Yandakatambi, Dole Bulano. Are you not in for that idea?
No, income for that mindset because at the end of the day, Yemina sort of 38% of the vote separate for 35 and for 38. But with that 35 compared to what the incumbent Konkana Menkele, 4% short of so that means that what 3% women for you need that 3% to be added to your 35%, so that the 18% to be added to you, so that you have more than the president. So at that material time, because no one line or cross. So you need that person to join you so that you cross that line. And that line is our collective interest. So now you are not looking at your political party as an individual, but look at the collective interest. Where are we coming together? But at the end of the day, UDP, we went to a coalition here in 2016. Even though the person becomes an independent, but who are the most beneficiary in terms of that Fonko? But the other parties complain because our collective interest was to remove Jame here. So now it has come down to our level so that we agree. Acceptable because we have a common interest. It's not about a party. At this material, we are not looking at our individual political parties, but we are looking at our common denomination here, our common issue here. Where is Bayo. Because we feel like he's not fit to be in that place. That's why Science and Foday, we must come together. And we believe that one political party
Are you seeing the opposition coming together?
I believe that when we open up the dialogue, we'll come together. Because at the end of the day, and we will all understand unless we we must change the government. So Neo-GB and that becomes your agenda.
Position about coalition
No, that even in the coalition 2016, that has ever been the conversation at the initial stage. UDP when we are at Kaira, they are just spectators. They are not even part of the coalition. As things we are going on, they end up being part of the coalition. Asature was doing her campaign. He was not even Asature Bekauru like Kolkanaka for now will join the coalition. So as we are going at the starting point, not everybody will come to the dinner table. But as we are going that now, we are all looking at the interests of the country. They might change their position. This material, this is their position. But I will not blame them. I just tell them, let's still open the dialogue. Maybe we might come to term. We might understand that we have what we need to save a Gambia.
We discuss. So don't be that's also an affront to the bigger party because obviously there is Patiba and there is Patinding.
Yeah, actually, I understand that party will be but what is Patiba? What does you qualify Patiba and Patinding? When you cannot unseat a president here, I cannot unseat a president here. So at the end of the day, same thing because if you are a party by the end of the day, you will be able to unseat a government. You don't need even the support of the others. So until then, the party, as far as we are all the opposition and he's the incumbent here. So what we need is for the opposition to understand that our common interest. And once we look at
you must have came across Sonko and Diamo.
Yeah.
That was the appropriate person to lead and everything.
So for me, I have no doubt in terms of the quality leadership of Dawo. Because he has ever been into this politics and having the legal background and understanding. So the quality, the qualification of Daba is not questionable at this matter. No, we have no problem. Any of these leaders, I believe that they have an interest of this country. The opposition party will remember better. So the quality is not there. But what can we bind us together? If it means that for UDP to sacrifice itself, for the interest of this country, like he said it here, we are $110 billion in debt burden.
So
what are issues?
How about those also that are saying, what's wrong with
if they can sacrifice, let them sacrifice. If UDP can sacrifice, let them. But let them not be rigid. In a negotiation, everybody must compromise to make an agreement.
So, but model for the many what's wrong with other parties joining UDP?
Let them open that dialogue. But Canada see in the middle of the government, come to the table. Let's come to the table and discuss there. But this side is usual because Alman start for you start to maintain your position. You are very rigid. You will not even bring me at the board. So I'll now dialogue. Let's bring opposition together.
So Kexx yalla load la yiten bile akamunda la chairman wala diamonya fault le dina malandi ku kat la fi anyanda ka ko yema
yalla politics is all about that. Politics, everybody have opinions. Momoranding ikela mi also is always independent democratic for momo yefindi la mi women like I remember Kachala, the Kachala answer. You understand? Kachala at the end of it, no kumata Kachala, the Kachafulu Lamu, Kila Miro. So as of now, UDP into La Miro, but Amandan to La Mirola, the Governor Miro. You understand? So they might say we are very rigid in the Miro on only one aspect. You understand? They are very rigid on what exactly they have said because the Secretary General went to the TV. You understand? And which is something every one of us needs to welcome that. Because political be a like Kexx member, being told be a mirror mental into go. Masakuna Mijel left a you understand? But one thing also, I just want Kexx and the others, you understand? Let's say, for example, number of deputies the competition was more of between UDP and NPP on the parliamentary. Yes, we have PDOIS, we have GDC and others. They also put up candidates. You understand? But there are other parties. They even stood for the presidential. We don't even see them even one member of parliament. No, you don't.
You contest them
that councillor simple councillor is just by a word, and that's where the grassroots is. Parties come candidate. But Niajibe Party Jamal Biji, a man candidate of Molon Party will form a candidate from the throughout the country. Yes, but not a mayor's election or a general. A mayor's election, it was like two party states at some point. You understand? And some few independent people. But now, Ning Hatara B, to come from Mole, only to go. Niatara, or party removal, Melialonco. For example, Wolu, Ilata Kutanata told left a Bampoli. Indolfana Feko, Party Balamun at some point. Okay, let's accept the party remote. Come and Kexx Barring, Momantara, Bele Minion can warn you to go, Lavaka incumbent. So the party will be. So Ning Ataran see the logically, scientifically. The citizens are going let's discuss. You want to be leading color. You understand? I mean, basically, it's more easy, it's more logical, it's more scientific, and the person with the highest number to lead and others follow. For example, I understand. You can be able to enough moment. So, Molmeli Alongo will follow, let's say, Molmeli Alongo will let's see. So, let's take an example of this. Sonko for Kexx and the others. We are youths, Meli Alongo, this Nimbango will we are more informed about this country than many of our elders today. Because at least being internet so we know actually this country the stage of meant to be. So keep because to convince our leaders to join hands together. We have a coalition. So there is no doubt the last election the last electoral cycle UDP have the highest number throughout the country. That's not a doubt. That was one factuality. Last mayor's election. No, listen, bro. Last election women get in Banco Kanyam, mayor's election women get a jam. Banco Bay Chow. UDP win. UDP have the popular vote. That is Obegele will not buy or kettle or yes, Gassama stand out court about Bono, but I'm following you to go. Ndara mayor's election or new coalition or Tara mayor election or Barola coalition on the cafe. Ne booted. But how many? No, Barola coalition on the cafe. No Barola coalition killing no Tara mayor's election and ne booted. So now I can't remember. Butera or kettle follow, but Buter friend of Foka. But Buter follow na Barola coalition on Butel and kill him. Number one dead. Kill him. No, kill him. Na Barola coalition of Butel. And Numkana presidential election on the Fana. You can remember, let's say, like Kexx member. I mean, I think, let's say I remember Ntolu, especially serious political parties. But when I say serious political parties, I mean parties who are registered. Parties, we know them as political parties, and they are part of the inter-party committee. I want these parties, they actually believe it could not President Baro Bondile, and UDP we are not going to sit at the table. Because we believe we have the numbers there. So Ninul Kafda Mark Diamo, you understand? Me along Kexx reactor. But Diamo is similar to what Swaibu have said. Because we are looking at the leadership because we have the numbers. But we can still sit and discuss how the ministerial position of the deputy palace and that was a statement of Swaibu. Swaibu ko nimbe sila na kacha, me sila na jibe, me ko and look, let me tell you something. And I keep saying it in platform. Go. When you have Honorable Usain and Dab as the president, you have Ali Basala as the speaker of the parliament. Wallahi, in Sankaliko, the national renewal in terms of our constitution, I swear, if Aliva become the speaker of the parliament, Usain become the president of this country will move, will have menu I mean, and then if you look at their credibility, Aliva is a very credible person, Usain is a very credible person, and these people, let's look at the track records. They have been fighting against governments. I'm not saying they have been fighting against government. For example, when I say governments, I involve Aliva. You understand? Because Aliva was there since Jawara's time. And there is a system Aliva want to see that system in Bangkok. There is a kind of governance Aliva mentioned. Usain have been fighting for almost 30 years. My uncle was with him. And uncle know very well if it comes in terms of honesty. Political mental nyoka, but na uncle who is Usain Onumukunda na uncle so but no, listen, I just want to conclude it here. So the point here moment Kexx, I want you people to understand. Understand. We are not Mantara Kal Doya and Doya in this process. But we only need to be very careful. Talibo Konjira Wadiam Kanako only a serious coalition of what is Baro when Akobari sending, Kobe Dam and Baro being Telefaka game over. Yalong go for Yellow, Yellow Talibo Fala, Nkafo Foday, no game over. But got game over the junior. Last mayor's election, the popular vote of this country goes to the UDP. When you have the parties like DOI, you have the parties like GDC, you have the parties like Shobaya, you have the parties like
but Shobaya television.
No, Shobaya.
They are not happy with your rhetoric.
Let's say more better stand for come. But the table so they have a coalition of the shotgun. Let me tell you something. I can tell you one
situation will compel us. Situation will compel us.
If all of us love this country, and if all of us know the difficulty in Banco the economic destruction in Banco can be, the hunger in Banco can be, the amount of corruption in Banco can be, the amount of nepotism in Banco can be Banco Dola Balo be. Bank doing the data Kenya Bunda B. I mean, the kind of money. Look, this is a government mayor. It has been scamming the Gambian people. The Masa Kunda Gambia doing scam. Several. Yeah, let me ask you something. Campaign is about promise. I mean, presidency. Let me tell you something. President Bayo Limba hold accountable from 2016. And let's go back to the worst President Bayo. I can count for you. I promise you will dinner in one of those difficult moments. President Bayo never go. I could link it a man sati. Man make sure you go CFO. It is actually political. And he has been warning CFO. They should not get involved. Be President Bayo I should be in the CFO. But Amanda even the Attorney General I be me along at the key to bank doing I should be doing that. That is one thing. No, I mean, it's there for everybody. It's an independent person. So be President Bayo fela ayukinya. President Bayo la hidi na mano la karo ni ofo let them tell us a new project. Because remember the rural electrification project has been here since Jembe's time. I swear, I'm sorry. REP. No, listen, REP have been here. REP have been here during the time of Jem. It was, I mean, this REP form, the concept of the REP comes from the Saddam time. You understand? So, but let President Bayo tell us the promises I mean the money. President Bayo pro. Allah wireless on other. No sign book auto. President Bayo promise I mean the money. Let's forget about the wireless. Let's forget about but President Bayo the health insurance may allow 2021 in Kexx, do you have the health insurance? You have the card, but are you using it? No. This is where they are scam. Let me ask you something also. Go, Kexx, being a sea portal, may I look at them be at Lemon Gambia ni Junoti. Yeah, look at Masakunda Wafi. You Masakunda for 80-20. But the worst part is now a government may alone just few months, not even year. You went for your contract, you go to negotiate because Gambia no ruler. Because ya kabika kumasi ya for even men am better Canada. Yake yela kickback hold them already father. What are you going to renegotiate?
So but Gassama, these are serious. I mean government may along go searing Bangkok and you should be able to do something about all this what he highlighted. Because not that Baro I knew call me along campaign of call me along I will county thing.
Follow. Bit a coalition. Ela coalition wala coalition building ngamre be wala kachaka. Iko bi na du na kachale ko. Ma fata kala di. Bar coalition 2016 a lot of sarto le kan. Dalilo mi ati nga mol kafuta nyoma. Ko mantra kerin sai. Okay. Aba kole yale bulu bake pour ida male kafu nyoma.
But ya fole economic hardship, in fact even corruption.
Wa Gambian ko du ka carte o fay wala. En so demanding mbina mine jele 2016 yaya jame kul bele fotama bar fenkini ngoyati na mol fasita mul jigla teta la kola wala mo be keta victim lete either one way or other directly or indirectly ni nga metala mo muta ay ko kala ayake te fama han APRC il faut que la victime ben fol ba support wo dalilo li atina mol kafuta nyoma pour ka fali ni ro nati bara fo be keri na sayma e ka jumale mutaka ye mor ga ye mamindo ina na bo jumole ye manta ban sakunda le amata e ka fumina state banditry ye wajele o mata keri imagine radio to jandul be diam la jam kunun radio station of pour que da sije ka diam c'est problem e ba fele ko foye ye permission so jandi ba kala media dragon bill ngamre wala be keri no hani ila story for niata ya fenge ila story ta ila fata publish e beta la committee le be beta woldo wo committee le ba edit la ite le ba fule nyanda men publish la ite le ba fule ba nyanda men finti la ni de be keri nu for 22 years but fo be keri na biba
yes
what a keri
yes
wo man ta keri de be diam la jaj police man
no abe keri
ena raja
jara
sirfo
jara e be pro
ha ayo no be diam wala
jara be pro kese diam wala mo de pro mo de binda angol ni ko nte sirfo ya baro ma sakunda me yalon ne kelo kai na ko be kai ina bitan kanne fo bi
yemu
manda kiti
yemu nege
I expect them to take me to the court. But as I am speaking to you, for more than 72 hours. You understand? Travel. So the right seized. That government may have I don't know government. I can tell you. I can more some of them are even part of it.
But it's side la nyanto democracy be jang.
But democracy
hakili marlo le be jang. Muna ndema man sakunda sama kiti.
Democracy
so man ni ato ngokeda. Ano second link kana damendo fa ka damendo kacha.
Mo le masakuna sama kiti. Yejo.
Say ile mo dora
alani bo
ako electricity.
Pamodu goda. Lele freda. Madi joba.
Baraba tanga system ko.
No, I'm telling you, you couldn't
Mr. Dabo nyole.
Democratic state. Democratic state. Don't tell me go. Let's go for
say
pay people's money. I'm not going to
say la mo quickly
Janni Melay no I want us to go to Turkey Gamben wol me yalon ko wolle be Turkey ban kontane iko ite ni la
hani ko ngani mba ngay address follow janni nga taw
no
because time is really
okay so ben be je man kontane ko men be in Istanbul alboka once every year al kabit concern sika merris alboka address al moboka ambassador sorono moboka diamuno there are specific people me yalon ko wol tamale ka diamuno ambassador so where the gambelol men be ko be jahal ne Turkey la man sakunda is very unfriendly towards them e ka today mutala le be arrest la every now and then ande be batare bake bank jere e ko Senegal wol bank la banko di ngol be jere they live in large and wala man sakunda la wulta itaraji kabiri make salbi ye ko be topoto ko ya sabu wol free taw banko ni but Gambia you know on the contrary man traka cool takimi yalon ko wala so ko waye batandi bakela ay embassy abiji le to damma wala bije but même fa ye sije Gambia no la wel fay ma topoto at all what will have to say to that
okay follow mbe follow mole ko mbe mo be kontona ay kuma kaw mem fo nga kuma kaw ni nga interview ni la moyle ndefa ya la moyle personally
very good
nte kabiri nta je tata 2024 nte tata je sometime in September 2024 almost 1 year 4 months or 5 months na menkije yo bar kabiri nte futa je ngatra le ko ikata ika visit ni kele pour ka futa detention centers wala Gambian migrants meni ya longo ke detain because nga kole ya cool so je kabiri nte ngo kole ya cool so tata je follow Association of Gambian Community kabinte futa je mantra exist kan right now it's not existing bari birimbe no Guinea Bissau ye committee so jele committee me yalon koy kafuna Association of Gambian Community wo Gambian Community wo kema koy baake because embassy la staff la nambal katri la formo to le ikaje any activities nabe ke kanje ika karamtale ike inform le yawn san kabrin tal tada je ngam fassas le ngam fansas ko at least twice a year mbe funtila mbita visit la kafuta Gambian Coleman min yalon ko mutani detention centers and I've done that in 2025 na doke sometimes in January ndara doke November pour ka futa Gambian Coleman akita almost about 6 to 7 hours drive from Ankara to Istanbul ndol ngo kele embassy ninna deputy head of the missions ngol kele ani financial attaché biye bara ta katara je bara tle mo treasurer nyinti prashi taraje katu joro bikele hanar be fem la je incentive wala be fem la pour que support ataka koloni di banin tata je ga kodo tala tokons ga dilale ke support anu ninna ta fanan ka report safele ka itande ko this is what is happening there bare be fo jara Gambian call mbe nyim fo ko mol bi jemi nan ko Gambia dingol le kanani je len ka transfer because ning ila man sakunda la molu ka diamne ke nyinin ka muni mo isus nyolti a little folly detention kabiri bin tarje ke interview ke nyinin ka muni atina ya tul mutaja muni mudaliloti bar dol ka case me explain wala nyinde ko dol ko kabiri kanana kan nyim fen ko government nako lebida jambo e ka wala tu ka ke mun ko dol ka wala ke ba ko kono to ko wa man la fala dol video na case ka ke wonda ha ke muta ke detain ni muta 7 months 8 months is a detention you understand so ñu ka ke issues ñu la ni these are challenges yo nata issue do fana bije wala ñinti ko dol bije e ka fu men nako kimili wala residential permit inata mola banko ka visa ite visa le tay dunda la banko ka le visa exhausta yalo nyanda murala ku fula be kala be kayto sotlali e residential permit soto ye sije but ni mo soto je ni sidel banko ka it is illegal han Gambia je ni wan kayto soto na exploiter ni be sidi ni muta ni immigration on be samal luwanya lima because sakam de be sidi la banko kan ne mi yalon kan ni luwa manta so these are challenges ko nganda kiskis o ken ngin be kiskis le it will fall nke interview le nga fomo so fa nke ka fomo ni file and ninata we prepare the report twice the report of the I've sent the report to the Minister of Foreign Affairs. You understand? Right now, yalo man sakunda ko maybe I'll tell you. But the report was like I tell you this is what is happening there. So Senegal
is enjoined in Turkey.
Yeah,
because the interest in Senegal and Senegal for the interest in Turkey.
Very good.
So ibajala ko ibe na fa ka nyolal. Gambia la karola iko wonna fanyi wala iko even student or katara jile men yalan ke be batare nan ya jala ko
ngamo le nyim fowe interview nyinke ka ko momi yalon ko abije almost about ako momi be mutari ngamre 1000 plus so hani student or fond be ka ani diplomatic mission ko 1000 dollars in Turkey of course inte tata Antalya len tata Konya tata Dulato you understand aka memfo is far from aka memfo membe kiri
but the attitude of the ambassador
right now moment mutari right now number for register it was used to be 100 people membe mutara be detending but science is 68
but right now amanke Mario da Malaya for mo jamal ka sefero ke Facebook e ka ambassador la ko comprendre
it is not the responsibility of the ambassador
no boy come on
no listen there is a welfare officer there na funo fonso le miyan ko telefono it is in fact that funo nyingo ngawo de dala ngawo funo ke men kam purposely for that if any Gambian want to reach out to the embassy you are going to call that number you understand it welfare funo abentable le fonte fango do be jinka fintile ngata so you understand hani dara jiwato hala man ko do wato o funo ka tande if I'm there right now, somebody is going to take care of the foreign secretary is there. They are called science and another full talent. So you say, and I can remember for Kafugo, Ntata Jelebari Yalon Koku Niba for issue more recognized. Kafugo be do okay can. But it left a men that wouldn't need to call. If you have an issue, like it had a coming for the community problem. Il residential permitting, expert. It left the embassy intervene, embassy buka request a residential permit on behalf of anybody. Migrants, if only application, okay.
No, but
you reject.
The thing is, the problem has been existing for like many years now, and they feel the government through Atelme Yalan Kalbe government represent. You are not doing much. Problem when you solve. In fact, that's the whole thing.
And that is beyond your level. You understand? Listen to me. They are not diplomacy. Diplomacy will level it.
No, but so you can travel all the way, or fly all the way.
That's what I'm trying to tell
Turkey to solve his people. President Bayo has been in Turkey for
twice. No. Listen what I'm going to tell you. Listen what I'm going to tell you. Kabring new problem on nata. Boy, so to get interview. Ngani capture the report kafuko makisana na natajile negotiation okay but there was no agreement on paper verbal agreement you are not sure because you were not there you understand no bekela then government has to go there coming quick negotiation okay the delegation of government the delegation of jenta murda pour kata negotiate you understand know what I'm trying to tell you so it can mean for the kafuko mansakunda le jenta tala pour negotiation okay pour another that's another level
diplomacy let me help
you understand
so I'm going to line on
let me just come to what we should do listen I tell him for you I'll interview you gonna follow he got everything wrong wala nyinti ko kafuko 1000 people will be detained that is wrong
so but more be detained and people are dying
that is correct
because I more for le me yalon ka ko wol fata jila
detention
well in do be in detention
what information on the embassy more for all of the sailor han Gambia do all of the sailor alors the sailor Gambia jam yagi momo ye keep in detention there akamda ka kete fam la on will but ni left a bola je pour you left a sailor it is for on will you left a sailor if all about request la that's why we ask you to prepare provide us fenko a consent letter you have to prepare that you sign it that call you are demanding that for left a sailor then you are going to prepare the emergency travel certificate even without your passport you can travel from Istanbul to Banjul.
I want to say there's one thing the government failed to do. I remember some of the people they made detained there. So the moment it was as the people working for the government, I told you detect, I report send. There is nobody many that travel to Turkey with such materials. One, because
let me just make it clear. Let me just make it clear.
Before that travel jump,
Isn't that
you pass through a desk? No. You pass through a desk. At the boarding point, that's where you have to inform everybody. Those who are going to talk, because normally if you go to the airport,
but it is not illegal here. It is not illegal.
No. If you are traveling,
I'm not listening. It is not illegal.
If you are traveling to Turkey, and then if you are traveling to Turkey airport or Turkey government did not allow you to travel with. When you are going to Saudi Arabia, it can mean for you walling into at the airport or sometimes in the flight. If you have alcohol with you, do not in a Kana G Saudi Banko come. So basically, you are well prepared for so the same thing as a government representing the people in Turkey, you need to inform the airport here, or you need to inform I mean, a ticket waffle.
You say what are the members say?
You people are not doing your job. You people, Turkey is having business. Turkey is having
So it's a very strong relationship.
Military.
Turkey has no.
It's military. No, it's military.
So agriculture, health, even in Jojolo, you magistrate or they can training. Do you know that? Turkey and military academic solo, even legal academy yasokle, even police academy abigile. It even travel. Yeah, benefit from that. It go even travel.
I travel before you. I travel before you, Uncle. I travel before this. I went to work in 12 countries.
Step by step. So you write the report, you send it to the government.
I agree with that. But many Alanko will live if those people feel you are not representing they are interested.
Even this 2026. That's great. What is the visit again? They would one will make sure it let the march no move.
Facebook better. I'll update Kexx. Thanks so much for coming.
Activities not better.
Baraka Baba, I'm content. I'm continue Kachala. Allah Baraka Baba. Thank you very much.
Just respond to before yes, don't respond. President Barole 2026. President Barole you are calling Ninna Cartola. Listen, but don't respond.
No, game over.
Honey, game over. What is game over?
PDOIS is coming to us. UDP is coming to us. So, but I want the last week on
last week
I want to give you one advice.
We are talking about local
I want to give you one advice.
How many people? This one, we live in that now. Okay.
Let me tell you something. The politician does not talk like that.
All right.
Yeah, Carlton do rega konta baga Mr. Gassama Africa platform o tem Sonko ka fala rek han sa nga continue ka chala rek opposition nga ñomoy rek andu nga ñola buña de ngo ke rek nyindi amo bebe banal because ngalo ne ko ni statistics jibe percentage ni kafu nyoma dal mbe siala president wala na la coalition be na jibe rek ngalon ko banko is at a critical stage and ndamal sa bondino anen kafu da nyoma da nyomo be kala nga continue ka chala dan kana jutu mola.
Thank you so much Kexx. Gassama.
Okay, thank you very much. Mbe follow mbe cash control na pour mala ma do ni programme be bare no control. Bare di kaj.
Bare ni wala de. Bare muso di ala wala ba tem ko.